Hi folks, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Nick, we're on the Atari 2600 and we're going to be looking at quite a classic game held by many. It's Donkey Kong, published by Coleco in 1982 and based on the good old arcade cabinet by Nintendo from 1981. Now this game introduces you to Super Mario, or Mario as he's now known, at the bottom there, and Kong, who's up the top. Now by going through ladders up and down and jumping over barrels, we've got to rescue that damsel in distress, who's the mighty Pauline, and here come the barrels here. There are power-ups like axes you can collect or hammers to actually smash the barrels, but it's all about timing and your own super skills, which I seem to have very little of quite often. The game is over 4 stages. Once you complete all 4 stages, differently themed, it will restart from stage 1 again, but it'll be increasingly more difficult. So that's the gameplay. Let's see how far I can get, which quite often is not very far. But it's all about seeing how the game plays, what the graphics was like, and reliving a bit of nostalgia. Blimey, I might get up the top here straight away. I've got your lives are represented, I think, by those squares in the top right there. So we've got 2 lives after this one. Well, these barrels are coming thick and fast, aren't they? Yes, okay, right. I think it's the first game we've played, I was going to say including Mario, but we reviewed Super Street Circuit on the Game Boy Advance, so I was lying there. Right, you're rescued, Pauline. Once we've completed all 4 levels, then we can drive off into the distance with Pauline. Hooray! Now this looks a bit trickier. I'm expecting them all to be like Kong I played on the Spectrum. I love the retro sounds on this, it's good. It is of an era, so 1982, so you know, in terms of age, it hasn't aged particularly well, but it's all about reliving memories and nostalgia and bringing those back through your childhood. So arcade system 1981, which I haven't played, and this version 1982. Did you have this one back in the day on an Atari 2600 system or on a different system? Let me know how it differed. Excellent stuff. Score is in the top there. You can see there's a hammer for us to pick up about a ledge above this one, so hopefully I can get to that. Yeah, but it's all about trying to work out how these things move on each stage. Excellent game. This is coming through a recommendation, so thank you very much. When someone recommends a game I should look at, it does get added on the list. I don't get to it always straight away, but I do get to it in the end. Now Atari 2600 is a new system that I've started reviewing only recently, so there isn't too many games to choose from, so people that have recommended certain games will get through to those quite quickly. Probably doing about 2 or 3 of these a week, and I believe there's just under 500 Atari 2600 games out there, so hopefully I'll hit a few of your faves if you own the system back in the day. Excellent stuff. As usual, if you've got any comments about the games, hints and tips or sequels or similar games, then put that below, because this channel aims to be nice and friendly, all about easing stress, and it's about sharing the information and your memories as well. Hooray! You might love this game, you might hate this game, it's all equal in the comment section. I'd like to know why and all that sort of stuff. Excellent stuff. We're all retro gamers, despite what systems we had, whether that be the Spectrum, the Commodore 64, NES, ColecoVision, anything really. It's all part of a greater whole. Boom. Right, okay. Let's go up here. I mean, the main system I used to play as a kid was the ZX Spectrum. I missed out on all these, although the Atari came out in 1977, the ZX Spectrum was 1982, so it's a little bit early for me, these ones. But as I say, this game was in 1982 as well. Cartridges as opposed to cassettes. Now, as you see, I've got that hammer. I don't think we can go up the ladders when we've got the hammer. No, I need to find a way of dumping that, but you only get that after a certain amount of time. If you dawdle like I did there, I think, if you run out of time, that is the end of the game, and you have to start again. There is no saves. So how many games so far has Super Mario and Donkey Kong been in? Donkey Kong and Mario do get slightly higher definition as the games go forward through the era, but good to see though, isn't it? You can't get much more retro than this. Love playing these early games. I'm really glad I covered this system. Good stuff. Are the later Ataris considered to be as classic as the 2600? Let me know. Are they worth covering, or is it best left avoided? Stick with this. 8-bit glory. As I said, other 8-bit systems we've covered are the ZX Spectrum, the computer I grew up with, and the Commodore 64. It's nice seeing how the games alternate from each other. But wherever the Commodore 64 and the ZX Spectrum said similar games, the Atari 2600 often does go in its own direction. Right. This hammer you got for a certain amount of time before it disappears. Oh man, these barrels of doom. I think out of all the stages I prefer this first one the best. There's 4 stages, all different themed, construction sites and various things. Here we go. Here's my arch nemesis. Will I get past this level? Probably not. Don't know what those things are supposed to be. Lamps or cats or something. Bing, 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 bing. Did you play the arcade game? Let me know. Was this very, very similar? Is it a good conversion? I mean, as a game in its own right, I am enjoying it. It's good. It was a good recommendation and I think a good game. Haven't reviewed too many games on the Atari 2600 yet to get a comparison. So far I've reviewed Enduro, which was absolutely fantastic. I loved that. Video Pinball, which was a little bit iffy with a square pinball, but good to see for historic purposes. And also Frogger, another classic. And I think I've been told there's a couple of versions of Frogger and also Frogger 2, so we might have to look at that as well. Donkey Kong, this is probably the most advanced one we've looked at so far, attempting the most, like a platformer. What is your favourite platformer on this system? Let me know. Always love hearing from you. Share the knowledge. Let Nick know. Kong's doing a little dance there. He's only got he's only got 2 dance moves. Lift left foot, lift right foot. Yeah, that's it. Bib bib. Right, I can't seem to get up these top ladders. What's the secret here? Is there something I'm not doing? I can't get up them. I've tried all 4 ladders and I can't get up. Now there's probably something quite basic you have to do here, which if you owned this game back in the day as a kid, you're probably screaming at me now to do, but let me know in the comment section. Quite often with these games, it's the first time I've reviewed them. I just want to get an impression of what it would have been like as a kid, booting it up for the first or second time, and the wonderness of that. Bringing back the nostalgia, the initial music. Well, initial memories I mean, not music. Ah, there we go. I've gone insane. Now the barrels don't always take the same route down the maze, as you've noticed. They will take different ladders forward. Kong's firing these at me. He must really fancy Pauline. She must be the love of his life. I mean, I think her name changes at some point, doesn't it? Because in Mario Super Circuit, the Mario Kart games, I think she's called Princess instead. She isn't called Pauline, that's for sure. Well, if you're mad enough to get kidnapped by a bigger monkey, you deserve all you get, really. Boo 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 boo. So I've got level 1 pegged. I'm okay there. Stage 2 is giving me serious problems, only because I can't work out how to get to the top. Boom boom boom. Maybe you have to walk off the side. Oh man. Yeah. So those blue squares there on the top right, they are depicting how many lives you've got left. So keep an eye on them. I think after a few goes, once I've worked out what to do, I think all 4 levels will be quite easy. Collision detection is quite good on this. It's got that addictiveness against it. There we go, good. And the idea of the power-ups are great. I believe on other stages there are other things you can pick up for bonus points. I think Pauline's hat and a few other bits and pieces. Bing ding bing. Right, I can't get up. I've tried 2 ladders. 3 ladders. No. Perhaps I have to walk over certain bits, perhaps. Yeah, perhaps I have to activate a ladder. Dun 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 dun. Look, is there anything obvious there I'm missing? Pauline, I'm here. Come down the ladder, Pauline. You could probably make a run for it there. There's a definite gap. Chuck Donkey Kong a banana and we're free. Donkey Kong, of course, based on Kong. Kong. Bing, 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 bing. If it was like Manic Mine on the ZX Spectrum, I could push a lever and Kong would go hurtling to his death, but no such luck here. Ding, ding, ding. Right, what can we do here? Yes, I think it might be Doomsville soon. So I certainly showed you how that game's played. I've got 1 life left here, but we know it's going to go in a similar direction. Ding, 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 ding. Maybe I'll get lucky here. 2 stages of 4. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Was there a sequel to Donkey Kong on the Atari 2600, or did it just end here? Now, I don't know what the homebrew scene was like. I know you could do some sort of like cassettes connected to this, but it mainly all cartridge, so the homebrew scene might not be that big. If you know different, let me know. Are people still generating games for this? Is there anything I should be trying to track down and loading up, perhaps? But we want to see the classics first of all, because classic games, nostalgia games, hold the most memories and the most dear to your heart, which is always good. Some people think a game's bad if they look at it now, but they're forgetting you looked at it with different eyes. So, hope you liked having a look at that one. I sure did. That was Donkey Kong on the Atari 2600, published by Coleco in 1982, based on the arcade cabinet by Nintendo from 81. Got any thoughts about this? Any comments of similar games or anything retro? Then you're more than welcome to put that below. If you subscribe to the channel already, then a big thank you, because that helps it grow. If you haven't and you like what you're seeing, please consider doing so, because that is a big help to me. If you want to help the channel a bit more, there's patreon.com/njenkin. Every bit really does help push things forward. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.